Hey, it's Amanda, and I just wanted to jump on here real quick and briefly say to you, encourage you to be cultivated in a time of stillness. You may be in a season where it seems like not much is happening. You may be in a season where you're in transition from one job to another, you know, moving to another home, and it's extremely important not to get caught up in the rat race of, okay, I think I'm going to be strong for everybody. Now, the bottom line is we have to understand that our weakness is made strong in His strength. So we have to humble ourselves before the Lord. And it's not about, not acknowledging that we have these human emotions, but knowing that you can use a time of stillness to be cultivated, to set out, clear goals for your life, to say, okay, Lord, this is what I need to do. And Habakkuk says, write out the vision and make it plain. We want to binge and eat and, watch movies and eat snacks. The bottom line is you can also be using this time for prayer. You can be using this time for growth. And that's the bottom line. That's what it boils down to. Prayer is absolutely vital. Prayer is absolutely fruitful. But after you get off your knees and pray, the Lord will begin to speak to you. And you need to jot some of this stuff down. Get a notepad, a pen. You can go back to the old days. Being old-fashioned, you can find a place in your smartphone and your iPad and your computer and just make a little tab or a little note and say, okay, this is what my goals are moving forward. These are 30-day plans. This is my 5-year plan. The bottom line is have a goal. Don't just go day to day like a robot. All right, I went to work today. Kids went to daycare, picked them up, made dinner, washed the clothes, set the appointment. Be cultivated during this time of stillness. Now, you can be cultivated even in the midst of a busy life. We all are granted 24 hours in a day. So it's extremely important to cultivate the nows of life. Now, I don't have any notes, but I'm just going to let the Holy Spirit flow through me. Understand, we are all a work under progress. Use the times of stillness not to complain, not to say, woe is me, but use this time to really think, okay, if money wasn't an issue, if time wasn't an issue, what would I do? Come on, Lord, I need you to ignite within me a new passion for life, a new zeal for my future, a new way to be a blessing to others, a new way to discover those gifts and talents that are still embedded. So it's extremely important to understand that, use this time of stillness to be cultivated. Use this time, to speak with the Lord. Use this time to praise, to worship. Pull out that old, blueprint that you had years and years ago. Pull up that old synopsis that you had. Maybe you were working on a play or a short story or an album. Allow the Lord to use you. Maybe you were thinking about starting a nonprofit. Maybe you were thinking about, joining the usher board at church or the choir. It is time for you to use these moments of stillness, but you must, absolutely must, know what your why is. Examine your motive. What is your motive for it? Is it to seek to get attention? Are you trying to get, affirmation from other people? Because if you're coming from a faulty foundation, if the foundations be destroyed, what can the righteous do? The Bible tells us, unless the Lord build a house, they labor in vain that build it. Unless the Lord keep the city, the watchman waketh but in vain. So it's extremely important to examine your motives and use this time of stillness to say, okay, I'm willing to be pruned and cultivated. Because you don't want to just be doing, actions that hold no meaning. And I don't want to get on here and sound like I'm babbling, but I hope that this is able to encourage somebody today. Many times we just go through the day-to-day, not even thinking twice about what it is that we're doing. It's just like, okay, it's 5 o'clock, time to, get out of work. All right, it's 3 o'clock, time to have my bowl of cereal. Okay, now it's 2 o'clock. It's good to micromanage things and have a schedule, but if you don't have a plan for your life, somebody else will, and they'll try to dominate it. And you don't want the enemy to be used. And when I say the enemy, I'm talking about dark principalities. It's not about, okay, am I perfect? It's about, am I willing to be perfected? We must be honest about where we are, not only in our faith, not only in our life, but in our relationships, okay? Because if you don't have that foundation together, then you're just moving on you got your ladder against the wrong wall. And that's what it boils down to. So understand that it's extremely important to use this time for prayer. Soak in a bathtub, sing to the Lord, write a song, write a hymn, read a chapter out the Bible. Whatever the case may be, take some time to do something that you normally wouldn't do, something that doesn't require others, and I'm not pushing this whole, oh, she got an agenda. Look, she by herself and now she want everybody else to be. No, 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 no. That's not what it is, okay? So we all need some times of solitude, and it's absolutely wonderful if you're in a covenant relationship where, meaning you have a spouse or a fiance or something like that, or you just have a whole bunch of people around you all the time, a big entourage. It's still important to take private moments. Even Jesus, went out to the mountain and prayed. He said you'll pray in secret and you'll be rewarded openly. And so it's extremely important to understand that you're going to need sometimes to not be seen of men. And when you do things for people, make sure it's not to be seen of men, but you do it as unto the Lord. For whatsoever good any man doeth, the same shall they receive of the Lord. So I'm so excited for you. I hope that this was able to encourage you on today. Use this time of stillness to be cultivated, to be used. Ask probing questions to the Lord and expect Him to speak to you. Honestly, listen for His voice. Listen for His leading and be willing to be perfected. Shalom.